Hey there, and welcome back to Mass Effect 3. My name is Pete, and today we complete another episode of our Insanity walkthrough, and well, I already said it at the end of the last episode, if you are at least vaguely familiar with the Citadel DLC, then you are now probably expecting a party. However, between hunting down our clone and finally celebrating shore leave, this DLC has just so much more to offer, and I would actually argue that some of the most memorable and funny scenes in the entire game are not part of any mission at all. And so today we set out on a tour to experience some of those moments. We will also work towards our grand goal of full completion by unlocking a few achievements, we'll play some games, and we even get to shoot stuff, so it's not just going to be all dialogues and cutscenes. Now, to get us started, we have received some private messages on our terminal. A few of our squad members would like to meet with us, either in the apartment or at the Silversun strip. However, in our first message here, we are also invited to Armax Arsenal Arena, a holographic combat simulator that, let us just say, offers probably enough content for an entire episode, but I think we can squeeze in some of that here today. Javik then meanwhile would like to meet on the aforementioned Silversun strip. Apparently he has received an interesting proposal, and well, interesting it certainly is. Garrus then just asking us out for drinks, and we'll have to visit the Silver Coast Casino anyway to purchase the party supplies, so I guess we'll meet him there shortly. Traynor meanwhile has a very short message for us, just inviting us out for lunch in the Citadel arcade, and James has something to show us too, however he would like to stop by at the apartment. After rescuing her on Horizon, Miranda then also finally makes her first appearance in this DLC. It appears word about our new apartment has spread around. Finally then, Tali would of course also love to come by, and naturally as our love interest we will make that happen. However, let's get started by inviting James. He said he's got something to show to us, so let's see what it is.
Hey, loco. Nice place. Might not look so nice after throwing that party you were talking about.
You wouldn't trash my new apartment, would you, James?
Me? No, never. Nice view. But this place, it's just so not what I'm used to.
Which is?
I grew up on the beach on the Pacific, so, you know, water, sand, real air.
You miss it?
Yeah. And the people.
Yeah, I get that. It's tough being away from home.
Yeah. Hey, is it true you and Tali are, together?
Yeah? Why?
How do you two... I mean, is she, under that suit? Do Quarians have... Never mind. I don't really want to know.
So did you really come up here to talk about my personal life?
Oh, shit. Right. I wanted to show you. What do you think?
Now, none of the dialogue choices made at this stage of the DLC have any morality consequences. Still, I think it can't hurt to compliment James here and to not immediately put pressure on him.
Looks good. You've earned it. Now the real work begins, right?
Exactly. And I heard what you said before, and I'm in. 100%.
Glad to hear it.
Anyway, that's it. Just wanted to show you that bad boy. I gotta get back to the Normandy. Esteban wants my help working on the shuttle.
Thanks for coming by, James.
This is gonna be a perfect place for a fiesta. Hasta la vista, Shepard.
Now, very importantly, James does not leave right away.
Catch you later, Shepard.
And we actually want to follow him.
What the hell? No way.
Yes, looks like James has detected our private workout area, and let's just say that this is where things get interesting.
You've been holding out on me. Oh, man. This is sweet. Come on, let me just use it for a bit. This is high quality stuff. Maybe I could, come here for my workouts. What do you think? You gonna watch or you gonna join in? I love this. You get to do this all the time. Just let me have some fun.
Right, so this is all the dialogue we can get out of James for the moment. That will change though once we interact with the Pullup bar here. As you know, James leans a bit more on the competitive side.
What have we here? You know, my record is 182. You think you can beat it?
Maybe.
Oh, this should be good.
And yes indeed, we now have to do this 183 times. I read a comment once describing this as the most pointless yet memorable activity in the game, and I have to say, I'm inclined to agree. Because there is in fact not that much more to it, we just have to keep pressing the right button at the right time.
Oh yeah.
Now, from time to time, James will have a few short lines for us, but the entire process of beating him takes a good 15 minutes, and that is nothing that I want to make you sit through. So instead, let me cut and edit things together. I will leave in all of James's lines though, and we'll see how he reacts when we finally beat him.
Uh-huh. That's 20. Oh, this might take a while.
You think?
Got a ways to go, my friend. 40, nice. Getting tired just watching you. Cerveza?
Shove it.
Okay then. That's 60. High five.
Funny.
Nice form. Impressive. That's halfway to my record.
Great.
100. That's impressive.
Thanks.
Just 82 to go. You know, most people would be happy with just 100. Good stuff, Jefe. You're gonna be ripped, man. Didn't think you'd get this far. Holy hell, you did it! I don't know what to say. How you feeling?
Indeed we did. Unfortunately, we don't get an achievement for it, but at the very least, I think we have earned ourselves the right to talk some trash.
Like I could do another 183.
Uh-huh. Whatever you say, loco. Damn, you still got it. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Don't worry. I won't.
You get to do this all the time. Just let me have some fun.
Alright, and with that, James will now remain here, at least until we invite our next guest, so let's do that right away. We are saving Tali's visit all the way up to the very end, so that means Miranda is up next, and her visit will be a little less competitive.
Miranda, good to see you. How do you like the place?
Not a part of town I'd normally associate you with, Shepard. I like it. Fix me something while you're back there, would you?
Sure, I've got just the thing. So what brings you back?
I was hearing some confusing reports. Sounded like you had lost your mind.
No doubt. My communications were hacked, among other things. I'm sure the news had a field day.
It did. So, a clone?
Yeah, saw it myself. Did you know anything about this?
Just rumors. Nothing really caught my attention. But about this Brooks.
Heard anything?
Not as Brooks, but as Hope Lilium. Another lie, certainly. When the collectors showed up, she put together the dossiers on your crew for the elusive man. Never paid her much mind. Interesting. My focus at the time was bringing you back, We needed the real Shepard, not some cheap knockoff. I mean, really? A clone?
Now, this here will be a theme for most of today's video. A lot of times we will be going with what is usually the renegade option, simply because in most cases it is the more humorous one, and we want our interactions here to feel lighthearted whenever possible.
You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Oh, they shut down my favorite sushi place.
That's a shame.
Shepard, you didn't.
I did. Fell right through the fish tank.
How did you manage that?
It exploded. Hey, it was the clone's plan, not mine.
Blowing up a fish tank shouldn't be part of anyone's plan. Although executing marine life seems to be some sort of hobby with you. No wonder your clone couldn't resist.
It was the first step in taking over my whole life. We stopped it.
Good thing, but why did it want your life? Why would anyone? All that running, jumping, gunfire. It's crazy.
Indeed it is, and with the tone of the conversation shifting more towards the serious here, let's go with the option at the top. I can't imagine that Shepard really enjoys it this way.
I try not to think about it.
Probably for the best.
Trust me, I know all this isn't normal.
Speaking of trust, with all this clone business, how do I know you're the real Shepard?
I don't know. You just do.
Do I? That's the trouble with clones. You can never be sure.
Come on. You rebuilt me from almost nothing. Don't you recognize your own handiwork?
It's not as if I carved my initials in the corner.
Well, clone or not, I'm the only Shepard left.
Good point. I guess I'm stuck with you.
I do have a crazy life, don't I?
That you do, my friend. That you do.
Alright, and there we are, 2 visits down, and I think it's time to hit the strip now. Like I said, we'll leave Tali for last.
Commander, if you would like to begin the party, you will need to purchase supplies on the strip first. I have already placed credits in your account for this purpose.
And yes indeed, we actually have some business to attend to on the Silversun strip. However, with several of our squad members waiting for us to meet them, party preparations are the least of our concerns at the moment, not to mention that the party itself is still far off in the future. So, for the first time then, we can explore the Silversun strip and the area immediately outside of our apartment. Just as we leave, there is a kiosk over on the right side here. This one allows us to spend a good 14,000 credits on interior design. In the spirit of true completion, we will most likely eventually buy all of this. For the time being though, I don't think we have any need for additional furniture.
We're happy to fulfill all your household needs.
And so then we leave the Tiberius Towers, where our apartment is housed, and step onto the strip proper. And just like all other major areas on the Citadel, this one has an Avena terminal. So let's learn a bit more about where we are.
Hello, Commander Shepard. Welcome to Silversun Strip. The Citadel Tourist and Visitor Board has declared Silversun Strip a top Citadel attraction. It is known for its wide variety of entertainment facilities and vibrant nightlife.
Right, so having already asked about the other Citadel areas, we want to explore the dialogue options for local features and local restaurants, with the latter most likely coming back to bite us.
What else is in the area?
Silversun Strip is a popular destination with both tourists and longtime residents of the Citadel. Its most well-known attraction is the Silver Coast, a high-end casino and entertainment facility.
Any good restaurants?
The Ryusei sushi restaurant is often cited as a local favorite. Unfortunately, it is currently undergoing repairs due to extensive water damage and miscellaneous destruction.
That's it. Thanks.
Please speak with me again if you require further assistance.
Alright, and with that we can continue our tour. Our first stop is the Castle Arcade. You might remember that Traynor wanted to meet us here, so let's head inside and see what she's up to.
Welcome to Castle Arcade.
Right, and to begin our meeting with Traynor, we can simply head up the stairs here.
Brilliant endgame. Excellent use of the Belarusian gambit.
Is this space chess?
It's called Kapesh Yakshi, Blade of the Night Winds. The Asari have played it since... we were supposed to meet for lunch. I'm so sorry. I entered the tournament on a lark. I thought I'd be eliminated in the first few rounds.
Oh, don't worry. You'll be free to join your friend in 20 moves or fewer.
To Sousa.
Traynor, would you like to just give me your frigates now? I always take them sooner or later.
Polgara to Sousa. She's knocked me out of 4 tournaments.
Right, one more of those dialogue choices where the more renegade-leaning option is the more entertaining one, so let's lean into the rivalry and prepare for the big showdown.
Specialist?
Commander?
Kick her ass.
Roger that.
So much for your frigate. Neural feedback. It disincentivizes sacrificing pieces casually. A few more centuries, Traynor, and you might be a challenge. You must not have that much time to practice now, living on that warship. My people have more respect for the great thinkers. I'm able to live quite comfortably teaching Asari maidens tactics and strategy through this game.
So we have 3 dialogue options here, and of course we do not want to just sit silently while Traynor loses, so instead we want to pick either the charm or intimidate option on the left, and again, in my opinion, the intimidate option is the more entertaining one, although we don't get any morality points for it either way.
I'd expect the great thinkers to be helping with the Asari war effort. I mean, Earth was taken by surprise, but Thessia? You had all the warning in the world, and the Reapers just rolled in.
Excuse me, I'm trying to play.
You're trash-talking. That's another strategy that doesn't work on the Reapers. It didn't work on the Rachni either, or the Krogan. Have the Asari ever won a war?
The Asari have a culture that was exploring space while you were using stone-tipped spears.
I think you're supposed to hit the button there when your turn is done.
I'm sorry, to Sousa. This might sting a bit. Thanks, Commander. And I apologize again for missing lunch.
All for a good cause, Traynor. Carry on.
Right, and just like that, our meeting with Traynor concludes. No lunch this time, it seems. However, we can meet another familiar face here at the Castle Arcade. He is standing right over here by the claw machine.
Great prizes! You could win!
You're mine, you bastard! God damn it!
Zaeed?
Over here, Shepard. This thing is fucking impossible.
What are you doing?
There was a kid here, sniveling brat, spending all his credits, crying.
So you thought you'd get a prize for him?
He asked. Looked simple enough. God damn it.
Where's the kid?
What do I care? Got any credit, Shepard?
Isn't there something better we could go do?
What could possibly be more important than Zaeed Masani not getting bested by some fucking kid's game?
You really want one of those plushy toys?
Goddamn right I do.
Okay then.
Credits.
And no, we will not take over ourselves. He can get some credits, although only if he asks nicely.
Sure. But even a bounty hunter's gotta use his manners once in a while.
Please.
Easy. Easy.
It's obviously rigged somehow.
Rigged?
I'm going to hunt down the shit-for-brains inventor of this crooked game and pull his inspiration out through his arsehole. Probably some smart-ass Salarian bastard. I'm going back in. Credits. All right. Here you go, sweetheart.
Okay, Zaeed. Where to?
How should I know? What do you feel like? Apollo's? Casino? More claw?
And I don't think that more claw would be a good option for Zaeed at this time, so let's let him have the victory and instead just grab something to drink.
Zaeed, will another victory ever match the one you just experienced?
You're right. Guess you've been around that block a few times.
A few too many.
Come on, you're buying.
Yes, I am.
Right, so now that that's over with, I think it's time to unlock our first achievement. Let's play the claw machine for ourselves.
Great prizes! You could win!
Now, the rules for the game are actually quite simple. From most to least valuable, we have orange, purple, blue and green orbs. Playing one round costs the whopping price of 500 credits, although you can very reliably make a profit here. I'll show you how in just a second.
What will you win?
Now, I'm slowing things down here to at least briefly explain the game. As you can see, the orbs are flashing in different colors, always alternating between green in one phase and then either blue or purple in the other. Knowing that already makes it very easy to grab blue and purple prizes. However, what we're after are the orange grand prizes, and here things work slightly differently. The orange color actually splits the green phase in half, so the color is only visible for half the time of the others, and it also appears at random. Now, the only thing that makes grabbing an orange even remotely possible is that one green phase split by an orange is always followed by another green phase split by an orange, and with a bit of practice you can time those just right. Still, even then, you probably need to have the claw already hovering over the orb where that happens, as all of those changes happen so rapidly that there is simply no way of getting there fast enough. Now, with that being said, for this first game here we are actually going for a purple orb. This gives us a plush Volus for our apartment, and now all subsequent purple orbs will give us a cash payout of 750 credits, and with purple and blue being very predictable, that is a great way of making some quick money.
Congratulations! You're a winner!
Still, as you can see, with a bit of practice, it is also entirely possible to grab all 4 orange orbs needed to claim all 4 grand prizes, 4 weapon attachments that can unfortunately not be obtained in any other way.
Congratulations! You're a winner!
So, if you're going for true completion, you'll have to play the claw game. One tip, I personally found the top left corner to yield the most reliable results.
Congratulations! You're a winner!
As you can see, I am already hovering the claw over that, waiting for orange to appear, and I did actually try that in several other spots on the board, and of course it might just be a coincidence, but I found the most success in this one.
Congratulations! You're a winner!
Alternatively, you can of course also install a mod to make the claw game easier, but of course that would not fit the spirit of this playthrough. By the way, just as an example of how quickly you can make money here, I tried my best to collect some rapid-fire purples and actually measure the time, and from activating the claw machine to getting the payout it took me about 11 to 12 seconds, so even though you only gain 250 credits, it is some decently fast money.
Congratulations! You're a winner!
Ultimately though, after finally picking up the 4th orange orb, we still end up with a net loss of about 1000 credits or so, simply because with the method I described I was able to pick up oranges so reliably that I didn't have to settle for purples too often, and even then, spending 1000 credits on 4 weapon attachments, not to mention the Volus toy, that is nothing to scoff at. Still, at least for the moment, I'm afraid our time at the Castle Arcade has come to an end. There are 2 more games that we can participate in here, and we will do so in due time. For now though, let's hit the streets again and meet up with Javik, who, as you remember, has received an interesting proposal, so let's learn a bit more about what that actually is.
Enjoying your shore leave, Javik?
I have been asked to take part in a feat. I am told it is a great honor and will boost morale for the war.
Who says it will?
Commander Shepard, I didn't realize you were coming too. Perfect timing, perfect timing. You can play yourself. Attention, the Prothean is on set. Someone tell the stunt double he's been demoted. We have the real Shepard now. All right, places everyone. Quickly, quickly. Cue the backdrop. Roll cameras. And action. Commander Shepard, thank you for coming. The urgent hour of doom, which we all urgently face, draws near. Urgently so. But there is hope. The Council understands you recently found a Prothean in a refrigerator and defrosted him.
Right, so it seems like we have stumbled onto a rather amateur movie set, and considering who we are and who we've got with us, I think some fair criticism is in order.
So are you guys just making this up, or what?
Of course not. A writer wrote it, so it must be true. You die now! Not yet! That line comes later. The Vorcha Counselor will kindly refrain from further interruptions.
I believe I've been misinformed about the purpose of this vid.
Now then, O wise Prothean Elder, what wisdom of the ages can you share with us?
Salarian kidney is best served at room temperature. It is even better when the Salarian is still alive. The fear adds spice.
Prothean don't like you.
Did someone say Prothean? This one is familiar with enkindling. This one has enkindled multiple females across the galaxy.
Blasto, about time you showed up. The galaxy is under attack by Reapers. If only someone had warned us about them years ago.
This one tried. This one was ignored. This one's efforts fell on obstructed auditory centers.
Actually that was me. Sovereign, Saren, you might have heard of them?
Yes, and Blasto here destroyed half the Citadel putting them down. But even he's just one Hanar.
And now we've asked Commander Shepard and his Prothean partner here to assist.
This one did not read that far into the script. This one does not share top billing.
Wait, what? But it's Blasto 7. Blasto goes to war? Think of the children.
In my cycle, your kind were nothing more than appetizers. Would you prefer to be boiled or fried?
Prothean don't like you.
This one has found his motivation. Very well. Commander Shepard and Prothean partner of undetermined ethnic origin. Welcome to the Spectre Club.
Now obviously, using our very first interaction with the famous Blasto to call him an idiot is tempting, but let's stay on the factual side for now. He is a big star after all, and we don't want to sabotage the entire project, that is, if there is anything left to salvage.
I've been in the club for 3 years now.
Correct. But you are not an Ultra Spectre Elite 4000 Deluxe. This one is a 7000. This one has less recoil and faster load time.
Where is the airlock so I may throw you out of it?
We don't have a prop for that. Cue the sound effects. Change the backdrop.
Look! It's Sovereign's half-brother Sluggard! And he's looking for some payback.
Cue the stunt double! Your line. Say your line. You die now! Oh no! The Vorcha Counselor is indoctrinated!
This one is the hero of the Citadel. This one has an incendiary projectile with the Counselor's name on it. Vorcha Scum.
This one is the hero of the Citadel. I'll handle it.
This one insists.
This one doesn't care.
This one wishes he was still frozen in a refrigerator. May we go now, Commander?
Strike the set! Telcasting will need a new Vorcha. Prepare for Blasto 8. Blasto cures the genophage.
Right, and from shenanigans with one actor, we'll move on right to the next one. You might be aware of the fact that in the Mass Effect universe there exists an all-Elcor production of Hamlet, and well, this right here is one of the actors, and he's got a few words to share.
With the production of Francis Kidd's all-Elcor Hamlet coming to a close, I am now available. Sincere request. If you know any good agents, please send them my way. Tragically, I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen, adieu. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act, had I but time. As this fell sergeant, death is strict in his arrest. Oh, I could tell you, but let it be. Tragically, Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause a right to be unsatisfied. Mournfully, O God, Horatio, what a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown, shall I leave behind me, if thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity awhile, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. Tragically, oh, I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite o'ercrowds my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England, but I do prophesy election lights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice. So tell him, with the occurrence more and less which have solicited, heartbreakingly, the rest is silent.
Okay, so having sat through all of that, I think it's time for something more light-hearted and emotional. So how about we now return to the scene of our infiltration mission, the Silver Coast Casino. We are scheduled to meet Garrus here and can also purchase the party supplies at the bar upstairs. However, before we do any of that, let's inspect this suspicious device near the Varren racing tables.
Fennec, hit the comms. Tiana, distract the bouncer. Urch, you take the vault. Avoid the thermal sensors. They trigger the lockdown. You'll hit motion sensors, and that'll alert security. Verk, steal a uniform. You go in as security, fake the arrest. Whoops, I seem to have the wrong casino.
Kasumi?
Take a walk, guys. I can explain.
And because I think it is very clear what exactly Kasumi and her gang are up to, let's go with the dialogue option at the top here. After all, this is pretty much on brand for her, and part of the reason why we hired her in the first place.
I believe I hired you because you were the best damn thief in the galaxy.
Sweet talker.
Are you hard up for credits, or is this just to stay in practice?
People who can't get to the Citadel are having a rough time out there. This place has more money than it knows what to do with. It can help those refugees survive. And it's not like the owner can spend it if the Reapers win.
So you're robbing the rich to help the poor?
I'm doing what I do. Raiding Cerberus bases and infiltrating Reaper-held locations is fun. But I'm a thief. Stealing? It's who I am. Without it, By the way, are you gonna call security?
And no, I don't think we will. One might question her methods, but she is doing some good, not to mention that the casino owner is already dead, and whoever succeeded him is probably not much better.
Just don't get caught, okay?
Hey, come on. I never get caught. Come on, guys. Show's on.
Excuse me, is there a problem?
No. No problem at all.
Alright, and so as Kasumi continues to rob the place, let us now head upstairs. We will meet up with Garrus for drinks here, but as I've said earlier, we can also purchase the party supplies at the bar here, so let's quickly get that over with.
What should we do first?
Even though the party itself is still not starting anytime soon. And for the small price of just 100 credits, we can then purchase everything we need to apparently fill an entire evening with our squad. So either booze is cheap on the Citadel, or this is going to be one hell of a lame party. Either way, time to meet up with Garrus now and see what he's been up to.
Shepard. So what do Turians usually do with their time off?
Mostly we make plans for what to do when we're back at work. I have some ideas on the Normandy's forward cannon.
You know what you need, Garrus?
That Mark IV silencer scope I saw at the gun shop?
I was thinking a date. Excuse me. I saw you checking out my friend here. I thought you two should meet.
Hello?
Right. So, hello. And,
Now, once again, in this conversation, the two renegade leading options are a bit more entertaining, although it is mostly Garrus himself who carries this conversation, although perhaps not in the way he would like.
Remember, you're Archangel.
So, there were these mercs raising hell on Omega. I had to take them down. Now I've got these scars.
I see. Maybe there's an ointment for that?
And once again then, we're going for the option at the bottom here. And once again, it is Garrus turning this from a solid proposal into something entirely different.
Invite her out.
What do you say we blow this joint? I've got this big gun back at my place. I'd like to show you.
Yeah. Well, listen. I've got this thing I forgot I had to do, and I should probably just go do it.
Sorry. Let's start over again. What I've been trying to say is my name's Garrus and I'd love to have a drink with you.
Alright, and with that, I don't think that Garrus will need us as a drinking buddy anytime soon, and that means we can leave the casino again, at least for the moment. Now at this point, I should probably also mention that we have been skipping a lot of ambient dialogue, so people talking in the street or in the various places we have visited, and I imagine there are a good number of you who are simply not interested in them. Now all of you others, don't worry, we will of course experience them, but mostly near the end of the video, except for this one here. It is short and sweet, quite literally.
Hey. How are you? Looking forward to tomorrow? Of course I remembered. Lands? I thought you could meet me down on the strip. We'd go from there. Anything you want to do, just name it. You want to go where? Yes, I know that's where we met, but that night was very special to me too, but... It's closed. No, really, it's true. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. No, I don't think they'd let us eat in the Rebel. So, what do you want to do? Really? No, I'm not making fun of you. The arcade sounds great. You'll win me a stuffed toy? Now it sounds even better. I can't wait till tomorrow either.
Right, looks like someone has a big date coming up, and so do we, albeit of the violent kind. Before we enter the combat arena though, let's get hustled.
New player, need new player. You play easy. Fight, lady. Pretty queen, follow lady.
And as you can imagine, there is no way of actually winning this game. No matter what we pick, the queen will mysteriously always appear somewhere else.
Where? Oh, you lose. You look lucky. No, you lose. Too bad. Find the lady. Winner, chicken dinner. Big winner. You lose again.
And yes, we can keep this going for just a while longer.
You play. Play. Yes, play. Take a chance. You smart. You win. Loser. Try again. Pretty lady. Yes. Bet your money. Game of skill.
Alright, and with 60 credits wasted, I think we're done here.
New player. Need new player.
Now, heading into Armax Arsenal Arena, the first thing we want to do is talk to the Arena VI, and we can find that just up the stairs and to the left here.
Hello, Commander Shepard. Welcome to the Armax Arsenal Arena. Armax Arsenal and the Citadel Tourist and Visitor Board have registered you for a complimentary competitor's pass. You may start a match by going downstairs and selecting simulator options. When you are ready, enter the locker room.
Alright, let's go downstairs and check it out.
Competitors, remember to redeem your winnings at the Armax Arena store, located in the main lobby.
Right, so immediately we are greeted by a leaderboard, although one that will not remain this way for long, as we are now getting ready to play around in the combat simulator ourselves. Before we can begin, we have to read our welcome message though. This explains that we can earn prizes depending on how well we do in the simulator, and that we can spend those prizes to unlock new and more challenging scenarios.
The next match will be starting soon. Good luck to the competitors.
So, first of all, we have to select our map, and at the moment we can only choose from 2. As you can see, we can unlock more, but for now let's go with Wingman. The same is then true for our enemies. We can of course unlock more than just Cerberus and Geth, but for now let's start with Cerberus. We can then also select the challenge level of our enemies. This ranges from foot soldiers to super elites, and again we only have foot soldiers available for now. Finally then, we could add some score modifiers if we had any. For now though we don't, so let's leave this one empty.
The next match will be starting soon. Enjoy the show.
Finally then, we select our squad, although we could also go solo, but in the beginning spamming powers helps out tremendously, so that's why we're selecting Liara and Edie, who both come with very short power cooldowns. And that's it. That is the setup for our first match, although we can now head into the locker room to prepare a bit further. First of all, we can take note of the datapad, specifically noting the points needed for the bronze, silver and gold prizes. And basically anything below silver is completely unacceptable. Even in this first match that should be no problem, although we should be working towards racking up gold prizes as quickly as possible, otherwise we will be spending a lot of time here to unlock everything the arena has to offer. We also want to take note of the fact that we receive bonus points for finishing the match in less than 5 minutes, and that we can rack up kill streaks for extra points too. So, with all of that in mind, let's select our weapon for this first match, and since this first match is relatively easy, we'll just select one from the list of guns we haven't actually used yet, and it is the M15 Vindicator, prominently featured in Mass Effect 2. So far we haven't touched it, but that's going to change here today. Slap on a damage and an ammo upgrade and we should be good to go. Time to win our first match.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's combat night in the Armax Arsenal Arena.
Alright, so here we are on the Wingman map. We have a few seconds to set things up, but then the fun begins.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Starting round 1.
Now, this first wave of enemies here are just Cerberus troopers, and our goal here is to kill them all in quick succession to rack up that kill streak. The higher that goes, the more points we receive for each kill, and we need to get at least 2000 for the first silver prize. Now, I will be editing it out of the final video because it takes up a lot of time, but I'm using the tactical HUD a lot during these fights, simply to always be aware of where enemies are, how much health they have left, and to identify the next best target. This approach has helped a lot to maintain those kill streaks, because obviously a burst fire weapon like the Vindicator is not the best tool for the job. Weapon-wise, there are other much better alternatives that should be used instead in these arena fights. After the first wave is down, by the way, we also want to rush for the bonus objective. Collecting this blue diamond earns us 200 extra points, so that's already 10% of the minimum we need. Our enemy waves are then also getting progressively stronger. While the first wave only featured assault troopers, this one here also has centurions mixed in, and that's where Edie and her overload ability come into play.
End of round 2. Maximum kill streak.
Right, so round 2 is done and we're already at the 2000 points we need, so at this point we could play things a bit more carefully, but where would be the fun in that? So let's aim for 3000 with the third and final wave here. This one another step up from wave 2, now also featuring Cerberus Guardians. Those, however, are an easy target for Liara's Singularity, and in that sense even easier to take down than the Centurions. By the way, I know I said earlier that I'm using the tactical HUD a lot, and by a lot I mean absolutely excessively. The actual combat time for this round will be about 1.5 minutes. In real time though, it was closer to 5, thanks to 36 uses of the tactical HUD, so that's about 1 use every 2.5 seconds, and that's not even counting the breaks in between enemy waves. One final note then, you can use Medigel freely in the arena. Whatever you consume here is not reduced from the stock used in actual combat, and your supply is automatically replenished after the fight too. And there we are, with a bit of an interrupted kill streak there in that last wave, but we have won. And with the various bonuses applied, we definitely come out at above 3,000 points.
This match brought to you by Rosenkopf Materials. For a piece of the action, or just peace of mind.
So, 3,500 points, that's our first silver prize. Achieving a gold prize in this first fight is basically impossible, by the way. We simply do not have enough score modifiers unlocked for that yet. But we will very shortly. So, with our first silver prize in hand then, we head over to the token store, where we can redeem our prizes for new maps, companions, enemies or modifiers. As you can see, our silver prize here can be turned into various score modifiers. We could also unlock Reapers or elite level enemies for all enemy types, and we can also convert it into bronze prizes or cash out as credits. For now though, we want to unlock the elite challenge enemies. This will unlock stronger enemy types, earning us more points, and it gets us one step closer to that first gold prize. However, for the time being, we will not embark on a deep dive through Armax Arsenal Arena just yet. The place actually has an entire small quest line associated with it, but completing that is another beast entirely. So as we're heading back to the apartment, let me also quickly mention that Armax Arsenal Arena is the way to earn unlimited funds in this game, as gold prizes can of course be turned into credits too, and once we have unlocked the right type of enemies and modifiers, they can be unlocked rather reliably.
You have received a new message.
For the moment though, with our first visit to the Silversun strip behind us, we have received a bunch of new messages. No, we are nowhere near the end of the video yet, so let's see who wants to hang out next and where they want to meet. So, having completed our first strip visit, we have 4 new messages waiting for us. The first one from Steve Cortez, who would like to take the shuttle down to Silversun strip. The second one from Jack, who would actually like to test out the combat simulator herself and invites us to join her. The third from Edie, who suggests meeting at the apartment for rituals found in all human cultures. And finally, we have Liara, who would also like to spend some time away from the Normandy and thus invites herself over. For now though, let's start things off with Edie. Let's find out what exactly she meant with those rituals found in all human cultures.
Shepard, I thought we could experience an afternoon of acquiring material possessions for our associates.
Shopping? I guess we could. Did you have a place in mind?
Physical proximity is unnecessary. The extranet provides a greater variety of services while retaining entertainment value. Jeff has lent me his credit chit on the condition that I enjoy myself and, quote, live it up like a girly girl.
You don't have money of your own?
I am not formally employed. I have no legal standing in Citadel space. I could turn to crime, but that would look bad on a resume.
We'll get you your own funds sometime. But today, what's first?
I believe Jeff would be surprised and pleased if I got him a gift. What would you recommend?
Now, while I am personally a big fan of practical gifts, Edie and Joker are definitely more than just friends, and so I think it's a good idea to focus on something they both like, not to mention that, at least in my opinion, it also produces the more enjoyable conversation.
Start with something both of you can enjoy. What do you do together?
We interact most closely when we are flying. It occurs to me that he does not have a sky car for traveling around the Presidium. Here, the 2187 Blackout has a top speed of 650 kilometers per hour, making it the most powerful sports sky car in its class.
That sounds like it'll get Joker's blood pumping.
5-year warranty? Replacement parts?
No, wait!
I fail to see what is wrong.
When you buy someone a present, it's best not to bankrupt them. You want to rent it.
I see. Perhaps for a day or a weekend, then.
Who's next?
You are. Close your eyes.
Are we getting married?
No. There is a jeweler on the Citadel who produces these. They're made from metals from each council homeworld. Each metal compounds with the last, making the rings stronger. He calls them victory rings. Due to material shortages, only a few exist.
Now with this next dialogue choice here, then we'll actually go with the option at the bottom. Personally, I just feel like it fits the tone of the conversation at this point a bit more, while the option at the top produces just a few more jokes, and I think Edie has a bit more to offer.
That's thoughtful, Edie. But we're not supposed to wear fancy jewelry with the uniform.
Some soldiers put rings on the chain of their identification tags.
I can do that. One condition, though. I'll give it back to you when we win.
No, that seems inappropriate. It doesn't solely represent my hope. It's that of many different planets. It should stay with you.
I'll take that to heart. Thanks, Edie. Who's next?
I was thinking of something for Liara.
Alright, and speaking of Liara, she is actually up next, so let's invite her over next for some quality time at the apartment.
Greetings, Commander.
Shepard.
I didn't know you could play.
Actually, this is the only song I know.
Why's that?
There was always something more important to do. A ruin to uncover, intel to gather, a commander to save.
You couldn't sit still long enough.
Could you?
Is there something special about this song?
On one of my first digs, a storm swept in. We were trapped inside. I was so restless. I wanted to get back to work. One of the other archaeologists, Dr. Elena, had this keyboard. She took it everywhere. She taught me to play this song while we waited.
Now, instead of just complimenting the song, we will keep things a bit more lighthearted. This dialogue choice also provokes a small reaction from Glyph. All in all, I feel like it just has a bit more character to it.
One song? And I thought the Shadow Broker knew everything.
On the contrary, Commander. I often bring new data to Dr. Tassoni's attention.
The person who taught me that song was a friend. I spend so much time chasing down knowledge. Sometimes I forget that there are things you learn by doing nothing. By just spending time with the people you care about.
What have you learned from me?
I suppose how to get myself into life-threatening situations on a daily basis.
I am a good teacher.
The best. Well, I should probably go. I have reports to look over.
Now at this point, the outcome of both dialogue choices here will be the same, but let's suggest taking a break. After all, that is what this shore leave is all about.
Right. But first, why don't you teach me that song?
Alright then, and after the conversation we can interact with Glyph here to once again have the piano play the song, and despite our suggestion, Liara can also be found working.
This place is nice.
Shall I transfer over your reports so that you might work here?
Yes, thank you, Glyph. Glyph, can you copy that song to my personal files on the Normandy?
Certainly, Dr. Tassoni.
Alright then, accompanied by beautiful piano music, it is time to once again head out to the Silversun strip. We have meetings to attend with both Cortez and Jack, as well as with a third person who did not officially invite us, but more on that later. For now, let's meet up with our shuttle pilot.
Welcome aboard, Shepard.
So where are we going?
Activating external cameras.
I didn't know this shuttle had virtual windows.
Bet there's more you don't know about this bird.
What's that supposed to mean?
Before Mass Effect fields, there was no such thing as inertial dampeners.
Yeah?
Here, feel this.
Whoa!
That, my friend, is unadulterated momentum. Want to really feel it?
Right, and of course we're not here to just keep things steady. Let's have Cortez show off a little bit. After all, that is most likely why he invited us out here in the first place.
Show me. You see? Doesn't take much to pull a few G's. Back in the day, pilots would wear G-suits. It squeezes your body so that the blood stays in your head in tight maneuvers. I'd wear a G-suit when flying my Trident. In a fighter, it's common to transfer power from the inertial dampeners to other systems.
You miss flying fighters? Can't imagine you're too thrilled to be flying a shuttle.
Hell no. I'm not just any shuttle pilot. I'm your shuttle pilot. Wouldn't have it any other way. When you're on the ground, weapon in hand, you're invincible. But when we're approaching an LZ, you're just another soldier. Vulnerable. Nothing you can do if we're shot down. Getting you to the ground alive is a responsibility I wouldn't trust to anyone else.
And even though we would probably trust Joker too, we are not going to say that. Instead, let's give Cortez the answer he seems to be looking for. We have sung Joker's praises enough in the past.
I'm fortunate to have you, Steve.
Anytime, Shepard.
Right, and conveniently enough, Cortez drops us off right in front of Armax Arsenal Arena, which is the place we need to enter for our meeting with Jack. Before we take care of that meeting, however, let's listen in to another interesting conversation, a conversation that at least partially features a familiar name.
That match was rigged.
What are you talking about?
There's no way Barlavon's team should have won. It was rigged.
You're just saying that because you lost?
You're just saying that because you won. Barlavon works in finances. What does he know about combat?
You sell model ships to tourists. Besides, the guy's smart.
Yeah, lots of people are smart. It doesn't mean that...
And he's rolling in credits. Did you see his combat gear? Are you really surprised you won?
Gear's not that important if the player's good enough. I mean, I could beat Barlavon like this.
Really?
The next match will be starting soon. Good luck to the competitors.
You think you can win a combat sim match dressed like that? Let's see it.
Yeah, well, you have to remember that...
Are you gonna do this or not? Because I could just take your money now.
Yeah, let's do this.
Good
luck,
buddy.
The next match will be starting soon. Good luck to the competitors.
Alright, and while this guy is getting ready for his match, so are we for ours. To begin the match, we actually just have to talk to Jack upstairs, but before we do, let us once again make some changes to our weapon loadout. After all, it is my goal to show you as many of the guns in the game as possible, and for this next fight we are going with the M25 Hornet SMG. Cerberus created this long-range SMG is fairly accurate and fires in 3-round bursts. It is admittedly once again not the best weapon to achieve a high score, but luckily that won't matter for this meeting with Jack, so let's take it out for a test drive and move one step closer towards full completion. How this guy's fight then eventually went, by the way, we will hear about that later. For now, let's focus on the one that we have ahead of us.
Hey. Glad you can make it. I've got us set up.
Alright, and for the first and only time that Jack will be our squad member in this game, let's make sure that she will be as efficient as she can be. And we start things out by maxing out her passive Subject Zero abilities. Since she will only accompany us on this one mission, I will not go into too much detail regarding the options here. As you can see, we are going all in on powers, particularly recharge speed. In my experience, that is what tech and biotic specialists are best used for in the simulator. One key ability for this next fight will then be Pull, similarly useful against unarmored target as Liara Singularity. The main thing we want to make sure of here is that we can use it as often as possible, but getting in a bit of extra damage and effect radius along the way is of course nice to have. Finally then, to be able to tackle armored enemies, we want to have Warp available to us, and here we are mostly going for damage. At rank 6 then we can in theory grab a small recharge speed bonus, but as you can see it doesn't really get us too much, so instead we are going with a much more substantial damage increase against barriers and armors. Finally then, we have 14 points left that we can spend on ranks 4 and 5 of Warp ammo. Meanwhile, we are leaving Shockwave at rank 3. Much like Pull, it is really only useful against unarmored targets, and in that case the cooldown of Pull is much faster.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's combat night in the Armax Arsenal Arena.
Right, so this fight takes place on the Brimstone map, even though we have not yet unlocked that. The enemies meanwhile are Cerberus of the elite variety. Those we have unlocked already, but we would be facing them either way, even if we hadn't. That means to say that the fight is a bit more difficult than the one we had earlier, which of course also comes from the fact that we only have one squad member to help us out. Apart from that, however, the mechanics here are the exact same as they were in the first fight. Once again, each enemy kill gives us points towards a total score, although unfortunately, for some reason this match is running outside of the prize tournament, so we will not be getting any bronze, silver or gold rewards, no matter how high we score. That is also why we are taking a slightly more cautious approach. There really is nothing to gain by playing it overly risky. By the way, just a quick note, in order to actually unlock this meeting with Jack, you need to have played at least one match in the arena before, which is why we did that right away during our first tour on the strip earlier. Also important to note is that you actually need to finish that first match, so getting killed during the first attempt and then not trying again will not make the meeting option appear. Now at this point, with the first enemy wave behind us, we should probably also briefly talk about the weapon we're wielding, which, as I've said, is perhaps not the gun best suited for these fights in the combat simulator. Yes, the Hornet SMG is lightweight and still deals a good amount of damage with very good accuracy, but at the same time it also lacks a fully automatic firing mode, so you need to be a bit more selective about who you shoot and where you shoot them. In that sense, it works in somewhat similar fashion to weapons like the Maddock, for example, another highly accurate high-damage weapon that is mostly limited by its lack of an automatic firing mode. As part of its 3-shot burst, the Hornet also comes with a decent amount of recoil, and so it usually requires a bit of practice to make all 3 shots find their designated target. All in all though, it is a very solid weapon that really only hasn't made an appearance yet because playing a soldier class we have the weight capacity for some of the heavier, harder hitting guns, but if you're looking for something a bit more lightweight, the Hornet is a very good choice. Now, back to the fight at hand, we are down to what appears to be the last few enemies of the second wave. You can see that the elite enemies are a bit tougher than those we faced in our first fight, but at the same time they are also not too challenging and give a decent amount of points, enough so that getting a gold reward with elite enemies and nothing else purchased is very much possible. Still, the Atlas mech here is definitely not part of the usual elite enemies. That one only spawns in this particular mission, and we don't even get to completely take it out.
I'm gonna beat you until candy comes out! Ah! Damn, it's nice to relax. Just cutting loose, not worrying about the kids.
And yes, while Shepard might be enjoying some of those feelings, let's not act as if Jack is not enjoying her new role, and so we are not letting her get away playing the unemotional tough one.
It's worth the stress to watch the people you're commanding come into their own, though.
Shut up.
Who said I was talking about you?
You know, if there is a god, that's what she sounds like. Just a big, deep whoom to let you know everything's gonna be okay. Thanks for coming, Shepard.
Wouldn't have missed it.
Alright, and there we are, fight completed. I think we should have been in the territory of another silver reward, but as I've said, we don't earn anything for this one.
I lost.
You sure did. Even that team of Hanar beat your score, and they've never played before. Not to kick you while you're down, but I think you owe me twice now. Once for the Parlavon match, and once for this fine effort.
Yeah, here. Hey, since I know you have it, can I borrow a couple hundred credits?
What for?
I think I need some gear. Maybe some metagel.
And it also seems like our fight went a bit more successfully compared to this guy's, and with that we have explored this small ambient conversation too, and can now once again leave the arena and head back out onto the Silversun strip. Now at this point we have concluded all of our requested meetings, but we are not done just yet. There is one more unmarked meeting taking place at the upstairs bar of the Silver Coast Casino, so that is where we're heading next. After that though, it is time to return to the apartment, but first I don't think we should miss out on this one. Even in this DLC it stands out as one of the more hilarious conversations, and as such it features no one else but Joker.
I was here when Cerberus attacked, and I don't remember seeing you. I think I caught a glimpse of Commander Shepard fighting over by the elevator bay though.
Well, yeah, Shepard was protecting the Council, but I had my own problems to deal with. You see, I was down by the docking bay near CSEC headquarters.
Haha! Commander Shepard is chasing the Council! This is our chance!
Oh shit! Cerberus!
Ha ha ha! It's Joker! He can barely walk! How's he going to stop us?
Like this. It's joking time.
Oh, we were fools to underestimate Joker! Oh no!
Yes, you were. That's right! You just landed on the island of Dr. Me! And that's pretty much how it happened. Which is why you should comp my drinks.
No.
Oh, come on!
I barely believe what they're saying about Shepard. You?
I don't think so.
Okay, trying not to be offended there. Look, if Shepard were here... Shepard! Hi!
Now, curiously, this is actually one of the only moments in this part of the DLC where we can earn morality points through dialogue, and even more curiously, the Paragon option is actually the one playing along with Joker's story, so let's go with that one to keep the mystique of the mighty Joker alive.
I'm Commander Shepard, and I'll vouch for my pilot. Jeff Moreau is a hero. Everyone in this room owes him their lives, myself included.
I'm so sorry, Commander. I had no idea. Drinks are on me, Lieutenant.
Thanks, Commander.
You can pay me back later.
Alright, and there we are. We have earned ourselves 5 Paragon points, and looking at the time of this video, I think it is time to make the cut. I had actually hoped to be able to complete the entirety of the Silversun strip activities in one video, but I have actually already recorded about 1 more hour of footage, and I'm still nowhere near the end. So as we're heading back to the apartment here, I think this is a good moment to wrap things up for today. We will then conclude our adventures on the Silversun strip in the next episode. That video will then also include some more of those ambient conversations I mentioned earlier, as well as my desperate attempts to beat the high scores of 2 more casino games, one of which definitely tested the limits of my patience.
You have received a new message.
But all of that will happen next time. For today, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then I would be very happy if you could leave a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing and want to support me and my channel further, then you can go ahead and subscribe to stay up to date, grab some merch over on shop.petecomplete.com, or check out and maybe even pledge to the Pete Complete Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.